that you'll never break. That risk they say don't ever take. That feeling that keeps you awake. You can't let it go. No, you can't let it go. That voice keeps screaming in your head.
Different meditation techniques or reasons to meditate.
They had toxics back then. They were cleaning the system out during the days of the pharaohs, okay?
Because God has a plan for both of you.
And I can have a baby and I can raise a child without you. That's kind of a shot at the male spirit.
Well, hello, and hello. Happy Friday. It's Twyler Jenkins here, the founder and CEO of the I Am That Woman movement and retreat. It's June. Today is June the 9th. Happy Friday. Happy birthday to some people, some clients, some friends, some sorors, Nadia Quiles, Mianka Jenkins. If I didn't give you a shout out last week, Diamante Kimball, your birthday's coming up. So for all the Geminis out there, Deborah Farmer, happy birthday. I know that a lot of you are celebrating, and today is a perfect day to celebrate because the weather is beautiful here in Chicago, and I cannot wait to get out. I also cannot wait to share another episode of amazing information, a wealth of information. Hey, Sister Bradley, a wealth of information about detoxing. This whole month, we are talking about self-care tune-up. So I told you last week, right? Like you go in, you take your car for a tune-up, you change the oil. Well, why don't we do the same thing for our bodies? We need a tune-up. And one of the best ways to do that is to detox, is to get some of those things that we've been putting in our bodies, get them out and make sure that we are living healthy, because that is what the I Am That Woman movement and retreat is all about. It's about us providing you with holistic wellness, mind, body, and spirit. So what do? What is this movement all about? It's a sisterhood. It's the transformational sisterhood for African-American women. Whether you are in corporate America, an entrepreneur, a stay-at-home mom, whoever you are, you rock and you are high achieving. And we want to make sure that mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and physically, that you're living your best life. So what do? We provide you with information, resources, and events on how to do that. This conversation series is a part of that information share. So every Friday at 4:30, we are here to share information about your health and wellness. So as self-care tune-up is June, we are here to talk about what can we do nutritionally with our bodies and physically. Because you know what? If you are not your best personal self, you are not your best professional self. And so why not learn new things? And today we have our guest back from last week because I got so many questions. Oh my gosh. And was like, Twyler, this juice fast that you're talking about and the foot detox that you were talking about, I need more information. And, where can I find it? How do I get it? What happened? So we are bringing Robert back to talk about juicing, detoxing, colonics, just to continue the conversation. I'm super excited that you have decided to join us today. Trust you me, you're going to learn something. Well, as you know, we are official. Woo-hoo! I cannot be more excited that we have now settled on when and where the I Am That Woman retreat 2023 is going to be. Deatrice Bradley, you were there last year. Go ahead and share your experience in the chat. Crystal, you too. Hello and happy Friday to you too. Both of these ladies enjoyed the I Am That Woman retreat last year, and it was amazing. And this year is going to be even more amazing because guess what? We are going to one of the most spiritual destinations on God's green earth. We are going to Scottsdale, Arizona, and then we're going to take a private day tour trip to Sedona, Arizona. So for anyone who hasn't been to Sedona, such as myself, but I have talked to women who have been, and even those who live there say you cannot get enough of the experience. I was walking with the Walking Warriors the other day, and Deidre said that she had been, and she was like, Twyler, oh my gosh, it is the most spiritual awakening. You just get this sense of serenity and peace over you. So we all need that. This 5-day, 4-night retreat is for you to get away and breathe. Okay? It is time for you to be still, be quiet, and be open. How many of you, whether you're on a job, doing your educational pursuits, like I said, a family, single mom, or even if you have a family raising kids, no matter what you are doing, guess what you're doing most? Taking care of everyone else. This retreat is about you taking care of you. It's about you checking in on who you are, what you're doing, how you're doing what you're doing, and if it is fulfilling. It's about you taking a deep dive into who you are, even as a Black woman working in this corporate world or this entrepreneurial world, and making sure that you are living in your destiny, your divine order. So this 5-day, 4-night luxury experience is happening October the 25th through the 29th in Scottsdale, Arizona. We are going to be at the Scottsdale Plaza Resort and Villas. This amazing experience has world-renowned speakers. It has sisterhood. It has camaraderie that you've never experienced before. You will have some spiritual awakenings where God is going to aliven something in you that you may not even know exists, or perhaps you may know it exists, you just don't know how to use it. So for all of you out there who have gifts and talents and treasures that you want to share with the world, but you may be a little afraid, go ahead, take the leap of faith. Come to the I Am That Woman retreat, October the 25th through the 29th in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you don't believe me, let me give you a little preview into what you're going to experience. Take a look. Yes, yes, and yes. Amazing, right? Every time I see that video, I get excited all over again. So go to our website, iamthatwomanmovement.org. Registration is opening next week. We'll have a payment plan. So don't even worry about the cost. It's an investment. It's an investment in you. The things that we cover, let me tell you, you got a question about your mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, physical well-being, we cover it all. Did you see those world-renowned speakers? We've had Susan Taylor, Kim Coles, Tracy Edmonds, Regina Bell, Connie Lindsay, Linda Johnson Rice, Tina Lifford. The list goes on and on. And this year, it will be no different. We have amazing speakers coming to pour into you about your mental and emotional wellness, your nutritional well-being, even with Robert, what we're talking about today. We want to make sure you know how to best take care of yourself. You can't take care of anyone else if you're not taking care of yourself. That's what this retreat is all about. Be a little selfish. Make an investment in you. You will not regret it. You want to register for the I Am That Woman movement and retreat. It's going to be amazing. October 25th through the 29th. You see it right there, iamthatwomanmovement.org. Go to our website. There's more information and stay tuned. Early bird registration is opening up really soon. We also are going to be raising funds for scholarships. So if you know a young lady who would love, who needs this sisterhood, who needs this time of wellness, make sure you invite them, tell them about it, connect with us, and we'll make sure, if at all possible, that they are there. We'll be sharing more information as we unveil our speakers and as well as our sponsors. We've had AARP, we've had Shea Moisture. So we're looking for sponsors. If you're interested in having your brand in front of these wonderful women, trust you me, this is a great opportunity. So just contact me on social media. You can give me a call, 312-399-6801, or you can contact me on social media, DM me. Trust you me, you don't want to miss this experience. All right, we're moving on to today's episode. Our conversation series is about self-care tune-up part 2. So today we have Robert Felder back. I don't see him on camera, so hopefully when I get ready to click that button, I'll see him on camera. But Robert was with us last week. We had to do a recording. There he is. We had to do a recording because Diamante and I had an event for U Chicago Medicine, which went great. And so we did a recording, but I got so many questions. I said, you know what? We got to come back live. So I hope that you guys will stay tuned. Put your questions in the chat. My sister Tyree traveled all the way 5 hours last night. Her and my mother were doing a foot detox and they're juicing. I still feel so great. And so I hope that this information will help you with your nutritional well-being. And without further ado, our guest, the great goat of juice, Robert Felder. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. Oh man, what? Hey, you need to be my PR person. Introduction like that, you got the job. But one thing I can say is it's a great honor to be on your show. You give out some great information. Those speakers, now ladies, I used to work for Linda Johnson Rice. Boy, she is a dynamic woman to be reckoned with, and she will probably share some things with you guys that's going to blow your mind and take you to the next level. I encourage you all to be there. Take the time, put yourself first, because if you're not first, you're last. And this is what wellness is all about. So yeah, you got a great lineup. It's going to be, you guys going to have a great time. I just know that it's going to be some awesome things that come out of that, especially if you are in tune with being receptive of what's being given to you, because she's going to drop some nuggets. She, just working with her from back my days with Johnson Publication, very dynamic woman. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to enjoy that whole retreat.
It is going to be an amazing experience. Linda came in 2019 to Mexico, told her entire story. I'm telling you, the level of women that we have who come and pour into these ladies, it's phenomenal. So now you're my PR person. So I appreciate that that shout out to let ladies know, hey, you got a Linda Johnson Rice on the docket. it's some serious work going on. And it was. She came up to me at the end with tears in her eyes and said, "You have no idea how much I needed this." Susan Taylor said, "This is the best thing that I've ever experienced." So it's absolutely phenomenal. But what we do there is just like what we're doing here today. And it's talking about our self-care. Robert, we do not take care of ourselves. We don't do a good job at it. And a part of what we really don't do in our community is eat right. We don't detox our bodies. We don't reset our minds. And so this month we're talking about, we're 6 months into the year. We're halfway into the year, right? And so at the beginning of the year, we start off, we going to the gym. We got a new gym membership and, we making all kinds of, commitments. And man, by the end of February, we back in the rib line, right? So now it's June and summer is here. And it can be a little hard to eat right for some people. So that's what we're talking about today, the Pure Juice Joint. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what is the Pure Juice Joint?
Okay, well, I've been a vegan for over 15 years. And, I was 36, my waistline was 36. And my church at Apostolic Church of God with Bishop Brazier went on a 21-day Daniel fast. And through that fast, my waistline started going down. I realized that, I started to do some study and found out that I was actually eating my species diet because we're herbivores, not carnivores. We're not supposed to eat plants, vegetables. We're not supposed to eat meat because we don't have fangs. We have molars. And so as I continue to research, I found out that by me eating my species diet, I was in alignment with my body building itself back up, because when you fast, the body does two things. The first thing it does is it creates stem cells, and stem cells make you look younger. It starts to, if you want to reverse the aging process, or you're having a lot of wrinkles and lines. I'm 57, so and so if you want to start to reverse that aging process, start fasting, because when you start to fast, the body stops making insulin, which kind of speeds up your aging process, and it starts making stem cells that starts to kind of reverse the aging process. So in the Bible days, this is why the people in the Bible days live so long. And the second thing it does is it creates hormones. Now, hormones make you feel younger. Before we were 25, up to the age of 25, you get the hormones for free. After 25, you got to pay for it, or you got to earn it. And the way to earn it is through fasting and cleansing the body, because technically we're supposed to fast every 90 days, just like you getting an oil change in your car, because a lot of things back up. We're in a very toxic world. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean. If a tornado happens in, let's say, in Kentucky somewhere, well, that tornado is going to jet stream all that whatever debris it destroyed. It's going to jet stream it up into that jet stream. That jet stream will take it 100 miles away, and all that stuff's going to land in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be raining over you, all asbestos and everything else that hurricane tore out of that county. And it's going to start raining down on you in the form of rain or just particles in the air. And so we're constantly sucking those things in. And we're constantly eating GMO foods or a lot of processed food. Yeah.
High fructose corn syrup.
Oh, yeah. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
There's a book called Drugs Masquerading as Food. I suggest y'all get that, because it'll give you a lot of insights on a lot of chemicals that's being used in our foods that is really antibody.
Wow.
And it's acting and it's working against the body. And what that does is causes a lot of backup. So your filters get dirty, and there's two filters of the body that you have to keep clean at all times. The first filter is your liver. It's up at the top. It's up by your heart. Okay. And the reason why you want to keep the liver clean is because underneath the liver is your gallbladder. And the gallbladder sits underneath the liver, but the gallbladder is connected to your pancreas.
Right.
Pancreas is underneath the stomach.
Right.
So when the liver gets dirty, it toxifies the gallbladder. The gallbladder then toxifies the pancreas, and now you're making less insulin, and now you borderline or maybe turn into a type 2 diabetic, just like that.
Yeah.
And so the second filter is your kidneys. And a lot of times people experience a lot of kidney pain, the abdomen pain, or back pain, because the kidneys are in the back. And so when you have a lot of toxicity in the kidneys, it gives you the headaches, it gives you the lower back pains, and you get all type of urinary tract infections and everything else, and the bladder infections. And so it's all related. It's all connected.
All connected.
You gotta make sure that you clean these filters and get yourself reset, because it affects your pH balance, which is it affects your hormones and pH balance, especially for men and women. And so a good pH balance should be about a 6 or a 7. Most people, when they come to the wellness center, I usually do a blood clot test on their legs, because remember, strokes happen from the leg up. It doesn't happen from the top down. It happens from legs up. So you get a lot of blood clots in the legs. It cuts off the circulations, which causes the stroke to take effect, because it's less. The body's like a circuit board.
Circulation. Right.
So when it's stagnation built up in the legs, then it causes those type of things to happen. So you want to make
point, it's all so interrelated, and the relation of it all is so nutritional, right? Like what we're putting in the body, to your point of, it's just like anything else. You put too much toilet paper in the toilet, you're going to clog it up. You put the wrong oil in the car, the engine's not going to run, or the wrong gas. And so when we're putting all these toxins and all the wrong things in our bodies, food with, a lot of grease content and fried food and a lot of meat. So even if you are a meat eater, making lean meat, and there's just a way that you can eat and eat healthy, but to your point, to make sure that the body is able to process these foods. When the body isn't able to process the foods, that's when you start seeing the side effects. What's some of the most common things that people come to you about, Robert, that you see almost on a weekly basis in our community? What's one of the highest things that you see?
One of the most common things that I see is diverticulitis. That's inflamed intestines. That's when the abdomen, most people think that what's behind their belly buttons is their stomach. That's not your stomach. That's your large and small intestines. And the abdomen protrudes out. And so that's just a sign that your intestines is impacted with waste and what is called mucoid plaque. That's like plaque around the heart, but that's just waste wrapping itself around your large intestines, because you got 5 feet of large intestines, you got 25 feet of small intestines. Waste wraps itself around it. It causes everything from diverticulitis, which is inflamed intestines, to constipation, where you're not having good bowel movements. And I get a lot of people that have those type of common symptoms. But the cool part about it is if you start fasting, the abdomen can go down, because now you're cleaning the filters. Like with anything, if the filters, if I got a bunch of hair in the sink will back up.
Right.
And so is the body. The body is 70% water. So when you have a lot of issues going on with the kidney and the liver, and it backs up the water, and the body starts to retain water. That's why a lot of women think that they're fat. They're not fat. They're just retaining water because their kidney and liver is dirty.
And so some of the things that you can do when they come to you, I guess it kind of depends on from every case. It's a case by case basis. Everybody is different. And so, but what are some of the most common things that you have people do? Is it the juice cleanse, the juice fasting?
Well, the first thing I do is I give a free assessment, because I need to kind of know how acidic you are or how alkaline you are, because a lot of people are very hot when they get a lot of acid in the body, and so when the body is very acidic, it creates a lot of heat in the body, which where a lot of the disease and everything else form in the heat of the body. Or if they're too alkaline, which means they're too cold, there's a lot of wetness in the lungs, and they have a lot of coughing and a lot of things that go on with the body with being too alkaline. Because it was a big trend where people say, "Oh, drink alkaline water, drink alkaline water," and they threw off their pH balance. They were too alkaline, and it caused other things to happen. So it's all like you want to have a not too hot, not too cold, 50-50 balance in the body, which is why you want to get your pH balance between a 6 or a 7.
So the first thing you do is test them. You test them for where their body is, where on the acidic and or alkaline level. And so if it's too acidic, then what needs to happen?
Well, because I make cold pressed juice, and the difference between my juice and what you buy in the supermarket is the supermarket juice, they pasteurize it, which means they cook all the enzymes out of it. And I don't do that. I'll let you see, enzymes is the food inside of food. That's what really feeds the body, because you got 1 million cells dying every day. You got 1 million cells being born. And the building block for the cells are enzymes. So you want to get as much enzymes in the body as possible, so that now the body can really make a good recovery. You have some really good stuff to build on, because a lot of times I see people and I can just look in their face and I can tell what's going on with their body, because the body will tell you everything you need to know. Now, watch this, ladies. If you have dark circles under the eyes, or they call them raccoon eyes, or you got, puffiness and it's really dark, that's the kidneys. That's the sign of the kidneys being dirty. If you have a dark streak on the cheek, like a dark line or dark streak on the cheek, that's the liver. That's your liver. And so the body kind of tells me what's going on with it. And there's 3 ways that the body releases toxicity. The first way is through urination. You're going to urinate that toxin out. Second way is through defecation. And the third way is through the skin. The toxin is going to come out of the skin. That's when a lot of women or men experience eczema, or they have a lot of discoloration in the skin. The skin is supposed to be even tone. And if it's not, you have a lot of discoloration, you have a lot of eczema, you have a lot of acne, all that stuff. That's toxicity coming out the skin. And so when I see that, the first thing I do is I kind of, try to put together a juice regimen based off of what I see. And then another thing is that a lot of women come to me, and men, with foot ailments. That's because like with anything, everything settles to the bottom when you sit still or when you're running or whatever. Everything settles to the bottom. So a lot of toxicity settles in the feet because a lot of pressure point in the feet and in the hands. Yeah. And so the body organs dump their toxicity when it's over toxified. It dumps it into the foot. It goes down to the pelvis, down the sciatic nerve, and into the foot. And so when I do a foot detox, I see a lot of grease. I see a lot of blood clogs. I see a lot of joint issues that is coming off the sciatic nerve from the toxicity.
That is so true. Even after my 3-day juice cleanse that I did, my feet actually hurt. I called you 7 o'clock in the morning or text you and was like, my feet hurt. And you was like, come on, sis. I didn't even know we had, I think, barely talked about it. You said, come on, 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, can I come after prayer and meditation? Absolutely. I was at your doorstep, and that foot detox did me justice. I was, what you always say, you limp coming in.
What did I say? You come in limping, you go out skipping.
Yes. That's exactly how I was, and Tyree too. But let's address Sister Deetra. She said she coughs a lot. So we know that the respiratory system, and I know one of your juices is specifically even for the respiratory system. She says, I cough a lot. I don't know what to do. The coughing lasts for almost 3 to 4 weeks. And so what would you say? What might be something that she's doing that's causing all of that coughing? And asthma is so prevalent in our community. So let's talk about that. Let's see if we can help the sister out.
Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would do an assessment on you, Deetra, because 9 times out of 10, when I do a pH balance on you, it's probably going to show me that you're very alkaline, that you're too alkaline, because a lot of times when you're too alkaline, it forms a lot of wetness in the lungs, which causes the mucus to build up in the lungs, which is why I created the mucus buster, because a lot of people were having a lot of respiratory issues, and I was one of them. I was taking like 2 Claritins a day because we in allergy season, and so a lot of times you're going to breathe in a lot of that stuff, and if you got mucus in the lungs, it's going to connect with that mucus, and you got some wetness in the lungs, or you're too alkaline. That's going to allow that mucus to keep on formulating in that, because mucus like to form in the wetness in the lungs. And so you could be too alkaline. And so what we need to do is we need to have you do get more warm drinks in you, and you probably need to do a cupping where we draw the wetness out of the back with the cupping, and we bring all that toxicity to the surface, and then we put you into like a detox blanket and let that wetness kind of evaporate throughout the skin. And that's that, without seeing you, this is a speculation. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you my opinion. But I don't practice.
Sounds like you're gonna have to come on in the city and let me take you on over to see Robert so we can address that coughing. But oftentimes we in our community, we do have a lot of respiratory issues. Right. I know I have sinus issues. A lot of people are dealing with sinuses. Now, I don't know if this is prayers, if it's juicing, but when I tell you, and I said this last week, when I had just finished my juicing, I used to be faithful to Zyrtec and to Flonase. Now, let me tell y'all, after drinking the Mucus Buster, I think today was the first day that I took a little bit of Flonase. And I used to have to do both of them, sometimes twice a day. And I have not had as much sinus drainage. I have not had as much drippage. Sometimes when I'm out walking in the park because of the dust, I'll get a little bit. But since I've done the detox, I took dairy completely out of my diet again. I did that in the past, but I know that dairy also creates a lot of mucus. And so cheese. I do that. Cheese.
And cheese.
I have not had any more cheese since I did my detox. And I know that my sinuses, my coughing, my allergies have been a lot better. And so, and back to that detoxing, what Tyree said was that, she did a foot detox last night. She drove 5 hours after sharing with her, this experience, and she did the foot detox. And you said that it was showing kidney issues, which she said she already knew. And then you gave her some juices for the kidney health. And so listen, you all, that is why we are here. We are here to help you find solutions to your health issues. And so I'm so glad, Tyree, that you found some relief, or at least we know how to address these issues. And Sister Deetra, we will share Robert's information, his number. And so he will do a free consultation with you. And then you can, go and see him and see if you can get help with this coughing, because nobody wants to be coughing, especially in the summertime. Start having hot flashes and all other kinds of things start happening. All right. So that's some good information, Robert. Let's see. Tanya, I missed last week. week and I'm listening via YouTube, and I'm excited to schedule an assessment. Will you please be gentle with me and my ailments? So I love me some Tanya Williams. And yes, my sister, if there's anything that you want to drop in the chat specifically about a question, certainly Tanya, let her know, but definitely call Robert and go and get your free assessment. And there's his number, 312-622-1057, 312-622-1057. That is why we are here. We are here to help our community to heal. And so I am just a conduit to be, God put us together, being out at a festival. And that's what you do out in the community, trying to help us to get healthier. And so there's juice regimens. One of the things that we talked about last week that I want to bring up again, for those people who do need to lose weight, juice fasting is not a weight loss program. Talk about that.
Okay, so when you are fasting, you are allowing the body to go from protection mode to healing mode, because a lot of times the body, when it's bombarded or when it's being overworked, it's going to go into this protection mode where it's retaining water. It's constantly having alarms go off like headaches and everything else, or lower back pains. That's because the body don't know where to store all these toxins that you're bringing in. So the body is in protection mode. So to get it into healing mode, you have to allow it a chance to reset itself, and it takes 72 hours to do that. And that's cleaning the kidneys and cleaning the liver and really detoxifying and letting them and giving your digestive system a break. The reason why a lot of people are having a lot of ailments is because they're eating, but they're not getting fed. There's no enzymes in the food.
You're not getting fed. I love that.
There's nothing that you are getting that's nutritional for the body. So you're just going through the motion of eating. And most of the time, what you're eating isn't nutritional for the body. The body looks at that, a lot of people comfort eat. They eat because they just, they're emotional eaters. And so one thing I can say is that women like yourself or people like myself, when I was growing up, we didn't have this information available.
Right.
There was no one of color looked like us, talked like us, sharing this information. So your platform, I applaud this women movement because now I gotta admit, you women, y'all was down with that, with the petty and the, what do you call it,
the manicure and pedicures.
Oh yeah, I didn't get it that till I was older. I was like, man, this is great. I missed out on that for years. I was like, man, he's running into these nail shops that y'all ain't not getting pampered. I was saying, let me go in there. One day I went in there and man. So women, y'all have always led the way. Lead the way in getting your guys coming over, because I need more men to really take their health situation more seriously. Because guys are like, encourage your husband, encourage your boyfriend. If they're going to be with you for a long time, you all got to go on a spiritual journey, because it brings you closer. It brings my wife and I closer.
Yes.
We start off 21-day fast. My wife was a chicken eater. She wouldn't give up chicken. Blood pressure went over 200. This is how I got into this, because, my thing is insurance and investments. But her blood pressure went over 200. And I told her, you're not taking no blood pressure medicine. You're not going down that pill route. And so I got on a 21-day juice fast. She felt her best life. And, I used to be a bartender, served to death, and that God got me serving life.
Yes.
And so when she came off her fast, she turned vegan, and she wanted to really experience the lifestyle, but she kept telling her friends, and more people kept showing up to my door, more people. And so I just, me being a giver, naturally, I just started helping people, and it just evolved into a business that is going to we're gonna take it and expand it even more because we see the need. We got too many food deserts out here, and the pure juice and vegan joint is going to be the pure juice and vegan food joint is going to be an oasis in these food deserts. That's what we got. That's what we're looking forward to before the end of this year. So y'all got to watch out for that. That's my plug there.
Yes, shameless plug. Absolutely. God has so much in store for us. There's so much that is going. We need this. To your point, we need this. We are dying at alarming rates. Unfortunately, like you said, people are leaving here that don't have to. It's simply because of the choices that they're making. And sometimes they're making those choices because they don't know what else to do. They don't know how to change their diet. They don't know how to eat right. They don't know anything about fasting or juicing or enzymes in juice. I love that your juices taste good. They're filling. I was not hungry the 3 days. My mama wanted some watermelon today. And I said, you only want some watermelon because you see the watermelon. You're not hungry. But I was like, you know what? I'll have grace because I know that you eat watermelon after. That was one of the first things that I eat. And I still have my watermelon here. That was what my snack was today. And so even maintaining what I love about after doing the cleanse is that you feel so good that you want to maintain it. I am a popcorn fiend, and I am a white cheddar popcorn fiend. And let me tell you something. I had some left over, and I tried to eat it after that fast.
It was
horrible.
It probably drove you crazy because now
horrible.
Because your taste buds are cleaner. And remember, here's address the fact about the weight loss. This is not a weight loss program. By no means. I'm not encouraging that. I'm telling you, you have to reset your body. So when you give your digestive system a break, some byproducts of that is that you are going to lose water weight because you've been retaining water. That's not fat. You're not losing fat. And some people say, I lost 15 pounds in 3 days. Well, you lost 15 pounds of water in 3 days. Okay? Because remember I said there's 3 ways the body releases toxin: urination, defecation, and through the skin. You're going to urinate and defecate most of the toxins because now your body is using what is called your bioforce to start to process all your stuff you ate probably 2 months ago. You're still processing stuff. And most people that I see is about 10 to 15 meals backed up.
Yeah. Wow. Because your body is, woo. That foot detox tells a whole lot. Thank you, Sharon Jenkins Codwell, for doing some shout out. Get them Jenkins together. Come on, fam. Let's get it together. So it's so important, to your point, that women help men, because oftentimes, and especially in our community, the prostate cancer, so many health issues with men that again, related to food, related to how we eat, related to the lack of exercise and mobility. And so doing something different, when we are learning how to do something different, we have the responsibility to actually do it. And even biblically, that's what the word tells us to do. In our prayer meditation last month, we were affirming listening and obeying. So if you are listening to this show, God is trying to tell you something, and it's up to you to
obey it. A little freeze there. Well, I'm gonna kick in. Last thing. So here's another thing that you guys got to look at is that when you're fasting, you're eating with my juices. You're actually eating. You're just not chewing. And a lot of people are just so used to chewing that they be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be hungry." No, you're not gonna be hungry because you're eating at a high level. You're actually getting all the enzymes and everything that the body needs. And so that's why you're feeling fed when you do the 3-day juice fast. So I encourage everybody to, kick in and at least try to clean yourself up at least one time in a 90-day period. You back with me? Okay. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, it's only on Fridays at 4:30 when my internet starts acting real crazy. The enemy don't ever want me to get this information out. I promise.
We'll get that in.
But
Right.
that's okay. We're gonna get it out anyway.
No doubt. No doubt.
Oh, we're gonna get it out anyway. God is good. God is good. I'm not even gonna sweat it. Who needs to hear this information is gonna hear this information. They're gonna call you, they're gonna get healing. We are here to help our community to heal, and it is going to happen. Man, I enjoy you every time we connect, every time we talk. You all go ahead, contact Robert Felder, schedule your free assessment, 312-622-1057, 312-622-1057. The devil is mad. We out here spitting some mad information.
You want to keep it quiet. No doubt.
He trying to shut us down. I can't do nothing but laugh every time he tries to do it. You ain't gonna win. You are just not gonna win. Every time we have a setback, it's just a set up for our next. My sister is here. My mother is here getting some healing. So many of you are going to call Robert, schedule your appointment, get your free assessment. Go ahead, whether it's a juice cleanse, a foot detox, a colonic. What are some of the other services that you provide, my brother?
We do cupping. We do detox blanket. We do ear canneling. A lot of times people have a lot of wax built up in the ears and they can't, they're like, wow, that throws off your equilibrium. And ear canneling is the best way to just get all that old wax out. You'd be surprised at what you have, because most people take the Q-tips and push all that stuff down there, and that get clogged up too. And so when you do the ear canneling, it opens up the sinus area, it opens up your hearing, and it really gets your whole nasal cavity really alive. So it's about reconnecting and making sure that we don't let the food disconnect us, because we're taking in so much processed stuff. I mean, if you look at, I always tell people, I say the front of the box is for entertainment. The back of the box of food is for information. And so by law, they got to reveal what they put in this food. A lot of this food, a lot of this, the stuff that they add to these foods, you can't even pronounce. So that should be your number one clue. That ain't for you. If you can't pronounce it, it ain't for you.
Glyco,
glycerin. Like what? And don't they make bombs with that? You want me to put a bomb in me? Yeah. And that's the reason. Now, here's the thing. When I was over in London, I could always tell the people that was from the United States, because most people from the United States was bloated, or they were retaining a lot of water, because most of the people that you see in the European countries are very thin and slender, because when you go overseas, food is fresh. They don't have a lot of processed food over there.
Right.
It's only when you get back to the States that we're canning. We got something called Spam that could, last 100 years on the shelf. What is Spam? Good Lord. You don't want that stuff. You don't want to put that dog food in your body, because guess what? If it can last 100 years on the shelf, guess what? It's gonna last 100 years that if you survive in your colon, in your large intestines, and it's gonna be creating all type of parasites and everything else. And one thing that we do is when we do the colonics, I allow people to see what's coming out of them. You see we put that apple cider vinegar in the large intestines. Those parasites run out of there. And now here's this one thing I want to share with you guys. You say your your stomach is growling. You say, oh, I'm hungry, my stomach growling. That ain't your stomach, first of all. That's your large intestine. And if it's growling, that's parasites. Your stomach can't growl. Your stomach's the size of your fist is up by your heart. That can't growl. If it could growl, you couldn't hear it because it's behind your rib cage. So what you're hearing, you heard it from old Rob G first. You're hearing parasites moving around in your large intestines. They want sugar. And the first thing you go do is you go run to the junk food place or the hoagie place and go buy you some dog food and get all that sugar, GMOs in you, and you satisfy them tapeworms. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you get it cleansed, get yourself reacclimated, get reconnected, because we're sixth sense beings, which means that, well, let me give you an example of it. Twyler, have you ever been to a place and you went in there and you said, hey, something's wrong here, I gotta go, and you left and found out if you'd stayed, something would have happened to you? You ever had that?
Oh, yeah.
That's your sixth sense. We're sixth sense beings. So we disconnect ourselves from our sixth sense when we don't feed ourselves enough what's called biophotons. That's sunlight energy. You can only get that when you got a lot of enzymes in the body, and the body is full of nutrients and stuff like that. And now that feeds your sixth sense. Now you got your spidey sense, and you say, oh, nope, I feel a vibration in the room. That's why animals run from danger. We run to it because we disconnected. So we got to be like the animals. We got to be reconnected and spiritually, mentally, and physically, because health is the new wealth. And at the Pure Juice and Vegan Joint, we just want to see you rich in it.
We just want to see you healthy. That's what we want here at the I Am That Woman movement. We just want to make sure that you're living as best of a life as you can, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and physically. So go ahead, call Robert. Make sure that you make that appointment. A question came up. Do you take insurance?
Not just yet. But if it's there's a way we could put something together, if it's one of those self care things, okay. And we, it's on a case basis. But some insurance we can, some we can't.
All you got to do is call them 312-622-1057. Go ahead and schedule that free consultation. It won't cost you anything to find out what you need to do to feel better. And we all want to feel better. We want to wake up feeling great. We want to thank God for waking us up every day. So there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be living your best life and feeling your best. Robert, I thank you. I appreciate you. It's always a joy. I called you just this morning and said, hey, let's do a part 2. I've been getting so many questions and, can he do this? Will he do this? I'm like, listen, let's go live. So I'm glad and I'm grateful for all of you all who joined us. Sharon, Tyree, Deetris, Diamante, Tanya, if I missed your name, Crystal, and all of you who may not even be dropping a word in the chat right now. I'm sending this out to you because I have so many friends who need help, who wants to feel better and do better. And so we are here to help them. Thank you again, my brother. I will see you soon, I'm sure, as we are starting to work on our next steps as well. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Can't even get it out. How to do a self-care reset. The best way you can do that, call Robert, 312-622-1057. Do a reset. It's 6 months in. Go ahead and get that free consultation so you can find out how you are doing internally, nutritionally, because when you change your mind, your whole life can change. So make it up in your mind that you're going to be healthier, because your health is your wealth. And so you want to make sure that you are doing the best that you can be doing. Also, mentally, emotionally, the best thing that you can do is start your day in morning mindfulness. So join us on a conference call line. Ask Tyree, Crystal, Deetris. They're all on the line every Monday through Friday, 605-313-5104. Access code is 345235. All you got to do is roll over, pick up that phone. It is the best way to start your day in meditation and prayer. On Monday mornings, Dr. Portia Lockett is with us. Let me tell you, there's nothing like getting your mind right. When you get your mind right, everything else goes right. So you want to join us. And again, registration is opening soon for the I Am That Woman retreat, October 25th through the 29th in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're going to be at the Scottsdale Resort. You don't want to miss it. Mind, body, and spirit. Woo! I'm telling you, we're going to be announcing our speakers soon. We're going to Sedona to have those spiritual awakenings. It's going to be one of our best ever. So stay tuned for that. Go to our website and find out more information. And we will be opening up registration next week with our payment plan. All right, that wraps us up for the day. I pray that you have learned something today. And I pray that not only have you learned it by listening, but you will trust and obey it by doing. So make sure that you take care of yourselves. Until next week, I will see you hopefully on the prayer line on Monday. Have a blessed weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.